Folks, welcome back to the weekly recap. I'm your host, cbmarcus, and we are looking at some of the matches for week 7 this time. Whether coaches are clinched, clashing for a playoff spot, or trying to upset coaches, we had some fun matches this week, so let's get right into the games. In a Prep City clash, Q the Costa Rican played Gravy, and it was looking like a slow burner early on, as Cleavor and Iron Hands couldn't break for their respective sides. But Sword Stance Meloetta started things off right for the Chicago Dragapult, snapping a KO and then damage, but all chip on Iron Hands proved to be irrelevant as rest was shown as the Iron Hands dropped to 5%. Q preemptively set up with his Hisuian Lilligant, and Gravy then forced the remaining mods to trade at best, resulting in a bulky 3-0 dub for the Vancouver Titans. The other Prep City clash was a firefight as JV and Addison had mons dropping left and right. Off the bat, it was a 6-5 lead in favor of the London Shockwave with lead Gastrodon. In the process, Tatsugiri Draco Meteored with eject back to hit and dip into the Pult to finish the Galarian Articuno off, which was Terra fighting this week. Alola Muck was bringing it back for Jay's side, knocking out the Tatsugiri and poisoning Arcanine, weakening it down to low. Screens were up and everything was in place for Jay's Baxcalibur to start sweeping in the endgame, but Addison's King Gambit was revealed to have Chople Berry for its Brick Break, giving her the 3-0 win. In a fight for his playoffs, Drewby faced off against Mountay and took advantage of a slow start from the immunity idols with Terra Steel Honchkrow, weakening and knocking out multiple Pokemon. Mountay started a comeback, reading the Honchkrow's switch to spore the incoming Slitherwing with Breloom and proceeding to knock it out. In the end, Garchomp had the chance to bring it back after the Breloom revenged some mons and started handling Sun, but Honchkrow came back for one last KO, getting the Sucker Punch read on the right turn and sealing the 1-0 win in favor of the New York Marauders, keeping Drewby in the playoff race. Ellie vs Joey was up next, and it was really a game of scouts as hazards were brought on Joey's side in exchange for damage for Ellie's side. After turns of chipping and informational positioning, Terra Fairy Hariyama and Crocodile were sacked by their respective sides. From there, the LA Wakers and Dragonite were able to take advantage of hazards set up previously by phasing Ellie's pivots out with a very bulky Dragonite set involving Dragon Tail. Ellie was able to grab a consolation point with Power Herb Fly Lando T taking out a Hisuian Samurott, but it didn't stop Hisuian Electrode and Lycanroc for bringing home the 3-0 dub for the LA Wakers. The wackiest game of the week was between Mephisto and El Scizor, as the stats really say it all. Iron Bundle was knocked out turn 1 from Scarf Rillaboom, and that was the story of the game. Mudsdale chipped Mephisto's Hawlucha for Rillaboom to revenge, but every time Rillaboom revenged, low kicks could come in and get some big damage off. The game slowed down a little bit as Florges and Sylveon squared off in a fight of the fairies, and Sylveon was able to get momentum rolling for the Nice Jinx with Calm Mind's stored power, but Rillaboom was able to quash the sweep and take it out fast. With that said, it came down to the last mon of the back, and luckily for Mephisto, it was low kicks and its first impression, which kept Rillaboom from getting all 6 kills this week, as the Nice Jinx were able to take the close dub 1-0. In a classic battle, we have Shulko King versus Uzi Gunner, and turn 1 actually went great for SK as he Terra Blasted the Sneasler with Terra Flying Jolteon, knocking it out off the bat. Iron Treads was naturally the answer for Jolteon as SK swapped into Great Tusk to take the hit from Iron Treads, but it teared into Dark-type, revealing that it was actually the Zoroark the whole time. After some pivoting, Hisuian Sneasel was in for the Philadelphia Stunkies, but missed 2 of its gunk shots on the Enamorus and the Vaporeon, but still managed to KO the incoming Vaporeon with a gunk shot poison and some CCs. From there, Enamorus T and Iron Treads were pivoting around for Uzi's side, keeping the Bullet Punch Club at a distance from SK's offense, which resulted in Volcarona getting the prime position to start sweeping. Azumarill got burned in the process of revenging the Volcarona, but Jolteon cleaned up down the stretch. But Jolteon was no match for Iron Treads, as Iron Treads was able to pick off the last 3 mons, which were on really low health, giving Uzi the 2-0 win. In a battle of the YouTube Titans, Envy and Nexus squared off in a very spicy match this week. The Dunsparce looked like it was going to get things started right for the Chimichargers, but Envy predicted a switch, giving Overquill Spikes an extra chip for the Pichus. After some pivoting by Envy, Nexus was able to get in Specs Hisuian Typhlosion, which took the wind out of the sails for the Chimichargers off the bat. Envy did find the positioning to get Bulk Up Ursaluna's set and capitalize on a Focus Blast from Thundurus, which Bulletproof totally negated. Terra fighting Lycanroc got chip on the Ursaluna, but it was all for naught as Iron Valiant revenged. From there, Nexus took us back to ADV with a sweep from Salak Berry Ironhead Salamence, giving Nexus the 2-0 win and keeping him in playoffs. That's going to do it for the weekly recap for week 7. Let us know in the comments what the spicy sets were, what your favorite game was, and what your favorite game for week 8 is going to be. With that being said, I'm cbmarcus signing off, and stay tuned for the rest of the PPL action this week and for playoffs. Take care, guys.